Hello people there, this is TheRubyRevolution. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the War Thunder New Power update. With this one we're going to be looking exclusively at all the new aircraft coming with this update. There's also some aircraft not on this dev server, so I can't 100% like talk about where they're going to be and how the characteristics are, etc., but we can still talk about them. And there's also aircraft not on the dev server, not been announced, but also rumored to be coming in terms of like seen in screenshots or been spoken about, etc., so we can also talk about those as well when we get to those nations. But anyway, starting off from left to right, like I always do. Now with USA, the Harriers, which have been announced, aren't on this dev server, which is a little bit of a shame, so we can't test fly them and see how they're going to be in terms of performance or what ordnance they have. But they're going to be the 8A and the 8C. The 8A is going to be the premium one, probably going to be a 9.7 battery rating, very similar to the British one. But this one's going to be a pack instead of the British one, which is going to be bought in game for Golden Eagles and expected to be about €60 or thereabouts. The 8C is going to be the one in the tech tree, and I expect it probably to go after the FJ4B or after the Demon if I was going to be a betting person. In terms of like the stuff they're going to have, it's going to be very similar to the British one, although I expect they won't have the SRAMs. I expect them to have like AIM-9Es or equivalent, and then the equivalent as well in terms of like the ordnance it can carry. Now moving on to Germany. Germany is getting a new BF-110 with a BF-110 G4. I'll have a quick look at this. This seems to be a night fighter variant of the BF-110 with all this radar here, which is pretty good. They're going to get that at a 3.7 battle rating. 30mm cannons, MK108s, everyone's favourite. 20mm MG151s, and also seems to be able to carry they're similar in terms of the ones in like the 1,000 kilogram bomb and also the 250 kilogram bomb. Going to be good in a ground realistic battle, and I guess it'll be quite good as well in air realistic if you're chasing down like enemy bombers, things like that. Okay, moving on next to Russia. Now hopefully they'll be getting 2 new aircraft with this update, but there's only one on the dev server right now, which is the MiG-21. This is the ultimate form of the MiG-21. This has the uprated engine, so it's going to be a lot better in terms of acceleration. It's still got those 23mm, which I absolutely hate on this aircraft. It's also got 6 hard points in this compared to the SMTs and MFs4, so it can carry more ordnance. And in terms of the weaponry, it's practically the same as the SMT, in that it can carry R60 missiles and can also carry the R3Rs. But with the 2 extra hard points, it's going to be quite a step up in terms of the ordnance it can carry. It's also got this one here, which is the R13M, which have a 15G overload, and they've got like a mid-tier unlock in terms of the missiles with this aircraft. And obviously when you get to the R60s, you can carry then like 6 of these, which is then really nice. We can take this out for a quick test flight. Obviously I can't put this on with a weapon loader, but we can take it out quickly. Okay, here we go. Look at that raw power from the MiG-21. I'm actually quite surprised the MiG-23 hasn't come up this update, because the MiG-23 really is the proper counter for most part to the Phantoms. Look at that with it. Oh, that is really nice look. Look at that with the intakes. That is new as well. How it changes with the lighting. Very nice to see. There's also as well, looks like the radar look at the top. What is going on here? That is weird. Not sure if that's intentional or if it's a bit of a bug with it. No, it is actually intentional. Look, the radar scanner is going across the top of the screen as well. Oh, it's doing track while scanning. Okay. That is interesting. It was cluttering up the screen a little bit. Anyway. Just a quick test live with the MiG-21. Moving on to the next nation. Now, Russia is also rumored to be getting another aircraft with this update, which is going to be the Yak-38M. We had screenshots of this on the new carriers with the dev blog post for the aircraft carriers today, so I think it's very likely that we are getting the Yak with this update. It's going to be very similar in terms of Harrier, in terms of performance. It's going to be similar in terms of like the how the VTOL works on it, although it is slightly different. And the weapon payload as well is going to be quite similar. It has 23mm cannons. You can carry missiles, bombs, and rockets as well, but it is slightly quicker than the Harrier in terms of top speed, and it's going to be probably going after the Yak 30 in the tech tree, I would say, because it is a Yak after all, so it would make sense. In terms of the battery rating, I expect it to be similar to the Harriers, 9.7 to 10.0 in terms of the battery rating. And it's really quite nice that we're going to be getting these new VTOL aircraft with this update. Okay, now moving on next to Britain. Obviously, they're getting the Harriers this update, and I've already done a dedicated video looking at the Harrier GR1, so go check that out if you haven't already. In terms of the other aircraft that we're getting, they're getting the GR3 version of the Harrier as well. This is going to be the tech tree version of it, and I expect it to have very similar battery rating. It does have a more powerful engine. It's got a more powerful Pegasus engine in it compared to the GR1, so it might be 10.0 depending on what ordnance can carry as well. It depends on how the SRAMs, things like that. So it's definitely going to be around the similar sort of battery rate, and expected probably to go in between the Jaguar or after the Jaguar, if I was going to say whereabouts it was going to go in the tech tree. Now, there's also as well something like interesting, because today they did a dev blog on the new aircraft carriers, and in some of the pictures for that you can blatantly see a Blackburn Buccaneer on the carriers for the British. Now, these could be just be like AI or just a model, but I don't know why they would bother putting in like a detailed model for the Blackburn Buccaneer if they weren't going to add it into the game. So hopefully we will soon be seeing the mighty Buck with this update, which would be fantastic. Now, the Buccaneer is a very interesting aircraft. It doesn't have any like offensive weapons on it in terms of guns. It's pretty much all just missiles and also bombs, because it's designed as like a tactical nuclear bomber, or to be used against enemy shipping. In terms of how much it can carry in terms of ordnance, it's quite good. It has like a revolving bomb bay door, which is also absolutely amazing. So it can carry quite a substantial bomb load, and I expect that to probably go, it's really like a naval aircraft depending on which variant it is, so it could go after the Scimitar, in between the Scimitar and the Phantom FG Mark 1, if I was to say where that was going to go in the tech tree as well. Let's hope we see it, but 100% I can't confirm it right now. It's just screenshots that I've seen on the new British carriers. Anyway, moving on to Japan next. Now, Japan is getting the F1 this update, which is the single seat variant of the T2 we've had in game for quite some time. This is the normal fighter variant. This can carry normally lots of anti-shipping. This is a lot of different ordnance. So okay, 750-pound bombs. We've got Zuni rockets, we've got Sneb rockets. It also has as well new AIM-9 sidewinders. These are the AIM-9Ps, 20G overload, and I can carry 4 of these, which is really good, and it gives the F1 comparable performance in terms of missiles compared to some of the other aircraft, although it does kind of lack maybe compared to stuff like the Phantoms. But still, new aircraft, going to be pretty good. Maybe we might see like more powerful like anti-shipping ordnance on this aircraft at some point. We can also take this out for a test flight, I think, pretty quickly, although this is going to be very similar to the T2. Okay, here we go in the test flight. Now really the F1 should have come in instead of the T2 all the way back then. God, I can remember when the T2 was the best jet in the game, and a lot of American pilots were crying. There we go. Nice jet this. Up she goes. There we go. 10.3 battle rating on this one, so not quite top tier. But it'll be pretty good. I wonder if it has the radar lock on. It should have the radar. Aiming just like the other ones. Maybe when we get a little bit closer, does it? Yes, it does. That is quite nice. Interesting, this is like the only aircraft that has it. And we gotta get him. Oh, it's being weird now. You're lying to me, game. Come on. It hates me. Why does it hate me all the time? There we go. I'm so bad at aiming, even with Even with their systems, I'm really bad. But there we go. This is going to be the F1. Okay, next on the list we have the Q5A-B for China. This is a new Q5 coming with the new power update. It's pretty similar to the other one, but it just have some slightly better ground attack options. 23mm cannons with 240 rounds, 1,300 kilometers an hour speed. Obviously this is a MiG-19, which the Chinese are basically sawed off the front of it, changed the cockpit, the intake, and the nose. Quite cool looking aircraft, I think, but I'm just nowhere near getting to China at top tier. In terms of the weaponry on this, it can carry now these Type 130-2 rockets with 16.56 kilograms at TNT equivalent and 283mm penetration. So a little bit better compared to the other one. But like I said, I'm just nowhere near getting to China at top tier. But I guess for like the 20 people that have China jets, that it's going to be quite nice to get this new Q5 aircraft. Anyway, moving on to Italy now. If I get my notepad back up. Now, Italy is getting one new aircraft with this update, at least on the dev server. The FC-20 BIS, which is a new propeller-driven plane, which is pretty cool. This is armed with a 37mm cannon. Quite a beef one, it looks like. Look at that thing there. Oh, it's not even modeled right now, but I'm sure it will be when it comes to the live server. I wonder how much penetration this thing has. 3mm. Okay, so this is very much going to be an air-realistic aircraft. 2.3 battle rating on this. Quite a lot of ammunition for that 37mm as well. 42 rounds, and it also has 12.7mm machine guns and a 12.7mm machine gun turret as well. It's quite similar to, say, the BF-110 in terms of the design, I think. And I think for 2.3, it's not that going to be that bad. And I think that firepower is going to be pretty nice for it. But in terms of the movability, let's go find out. Okay, here we go. Full power. Obviously, this is only a 2.3 aircraft. It's a little bit of a shame it doesn't have a armor-piercing shell for that 37. Because we're going to take it out into a ground realistic. Let's get the gear up. And the flaps raised. How fast firing is this 37? Oh, we're actually losing a lot of height here. It's struggling to fly. Yeah, it's pretty rapid. Okay, so if you get the hits on people, it's obviously going to do a lot of damage, but in terms of the flight performance, not really the best. It's a twin-engine heavy fighter, basically. With a turret at the back. Still, I'm sure you'll be able to find some sort of use for it. No cockpit for it either yet. Pretty much all I've got to say about it, I think. Anyway, moving on to the next nation now. France is going to be getting a new premium P-47 aircraft with this update, and it's going to be sending you back 1,450 Golden Eagles. Very nice plane. It's going to be a Razorback, similar to the British and American ones we had in the last update. 695 kilometers an hour top speed on this, and it's going to be quite good in terms of secondary ordnance, similar to the other ones, 1,000 pound bombs and the 500 pound bombs as well, but it can't carry any rockets. I'm very much a fan of the Jugs. They're very good heavy single engine fighters in capable hands, and it's going to be quite good ground attack as well. So if you're going to be grinding out French propeller-driven aircraft at a mid-tierish sort of battle rating, this is going to be quite a nice premium aircraft to get. Lastly, we're getting the SK-60B. This is a new Swedish ground attack aircraft coming with this update. They did a dev blog showing what this aircraft is going to be capable of. In terms of where it's going to be in the tech tree, it's going after the T-18B2, and it's going to have a 7.3 battle rating, at least on the dev server, which is very interesting. Very low battle rating considering what this aircraft can be armed with. Stock carries these 30mm M55 cannons and these gun pods with 300 rounds, which is very nice for a battle rating of 7.3. But once you upgrade this in terms of the modifications with the ground attack options, it has the M56D rockets, where these have the 500mm penetration and they cause absolute carnage when they do penetrate enemy vehicles, and also these M4956 rockets with 4.32 kilograms explosive mass. And then it has these ones here, which are very, very interesting. These have a TNT equivalent of 76.8 kilograms with 95 millimeters of penetration. Absolutely just crazy amount of TNT equivalent. And actually, I can equip these because I've researched these. Look at these. They're absolutely huge missiles. I'm pretty sure they're probably designed to go against anti-ships, stuff like that. So going to be quite interesting if they're taking these out into a ground realistic battle. But what we can do is we can take this out in the 2 different configurations with the 30mm and also with these rockets on as well, to see how this aircraft gets on in a little bit of a test drive. Okay, here we go. Now in terms of the flight performance on this, it's not going to be the best because this aircraft is designed as a trainer after all. Although expected to have quite nice acceleration, and it's also going to have a very good stall speed on this. I think it's very low. It's probably like 200 kilometers an hour. So it's going to be quite hard to stall this aircraft, which makes it very good at ground attacking. To be honest, what do we have over here? MiG-15. I'm going to hard press to catch that. Let's see if we can get a SPA over here with the 30mm. It's a bit unfortunate that you can't carry the guns and also say the rockets, etc. at the same time, and it's one or the other. Spray and pray, there we go. I think it'll be quite good in air realistic. It's chewing through the ammo though. Well, it's already gone. Well, okay then. Combat flaps? No combat flaps. Well, it doesn't like that even at 300 kilometers an hour. But it does turn really well. Even at low speeds, that is a very, very good turn. Let's get up to speed and see how fast you'll go. Okay, so the acceleration does seem to be pretty unremarkable. We're only getting just up to 600 kilometers an hour, but it is only a 7.3 aircraft right now. It is really struggling to accelerate. Okay, so it's probably only going to be about 700 kilometers an hour in level flight. But then again, this is stock as well, so I have to take that into consideration. But it is heck of a like maneuverable. Look at that. That is some hell of maneuverability on this plane. Going to be quite good at dogfighting. It rolls really well. Probably like too well, to be honest. Let's get those rockets a try. Oh my god, just look at these bad boys. They are absolutely huge. These missiles are terrifying. We'll try and kill the SPA. I expect these to have quite a lot of drop on them. Probably won't be guided. There's no rocket guiding reticle either, which is a bit of a shame. Let's fire that there. Off it goes. Nice. There we go. That is a ginormous explosion. Guess we'll go for the T-55 now. Wing over. Take off flaps. Oh my god, look at that. This thing has a really good turn at low speed. Oh, okay. Well, that went off completely in the wrong direction, but it doesn't matter. Interesting plane. Going to be quite a nice 7.3 aircraft. Probably going to use it in my 7.7 lineup, I think, for Sweden. Although I think I'm probably going to take the ones with the 500mm penetration over this ones, because simply that they have more of those compared to the 2 on this. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video looking at the new aircraft which are coming with this update. Let me know in the comments below which aircraft you are most excited for with this update. I know which one I'm most excited for. I'll let you guess that in the comments below. But anyway, until the next one, please like, comment, share, all that good stuff, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one sometime soon. Bye!